Welcome to the edge.
15 years ago, they thought they had defeated a murderous alien parasite. They were wrong. Now the creature is back, deadlier than before, with only an alien cop.
This is my battle.
And an innocent human standing in its way.
It will get ugly.
The Hidden Tomb, a Sci-Fi Channel premiere feature, Saturday, December 17th.
You are watching the Sci-Fi Channel.
Roger, let's head home.
Macabre master Clive Barker and legendary director Robert Wise buzzing at you next. It's going to be a great sci-fi buzz this week. Captain Marvel is on our side. Harlan Ellison takes us on a fantasy shopping trip. Comic book artist Norm Brayfogle. And two guys who have given us great fantasy, Robert Wise and Clive Barker. You've heard of pheasant under glass. We buzzards eat crow. Good because I'm ravenous. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, never more, never more. Bye-bye, Blackbird, bye-bye. Stop me! It's time to begin the show here. This is Sci-Fi Buzz, Sci-Fi Central here. I'm Mike Jarek, your friendly host. And first question for the staff today. Staff, who is your favorite horror creator? Let's start with you. Lovely glasses. Oh, goodness.
Stephen King.
Oh, good choice. Lee, how about you?
Robert Bloch.
Nice. Very good. How about you, Colleen?
Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, I agree. Wait a minute. Alfred Hitchcock? Would he be in the horror category?
Well, of course, The Bird, Psycho.
Well, what a Rear Window and stuff like that. Well, anyway, a contemporary horror specialist by the name of Clive Barker, I think, is fabulous. He does books, stories, movies. Another reason I like him, he created one of my favorites, Pinhead.
We have such sights to show you.
I didn't decide to write horror fiction. Horror fiction decided that I would be a writer for it. My imagination has always worked in a pretty dark fashion.
That's an understatement when you consider Creepmeister Clive Barker's track record. His reign of terror at the bookstores has given us ghoulish treats like Weave World, Books of Blood, and Imagica. Plus, his satanic sagas have spilled onto the big screen in films like Hellraiser and Candyman. Yep, this is a guy who really knows how to freak out his fans.
Stories are primal forms. They tell us what we want. They tell us what we fear. They tell us what we may be. They tell us what we are.
For those who can't imagine how Barker dreams up this stuff, the answer's simple. He keeps a dream journal. Amazingly, this prolific Liverpudlian has been known to draw entire passages from dream imagery.
Particularly when I'm coming towards the end of a book, I become so obsessed with it that basically, it seems to me that my entire dream life is dominated by it. And very often I'll find narrative solutions in dreams as my subconscious turns over the possibilities.
You can't leave me like this, you can't.
What do you want me to do?
Barker made a dramatic directorial debut on the 1987 fright flick Hellraiser, based on his novella, The Hellbound Heart.
It's a family saga, isn't it? I mean, the scariest moment, for my money, in Hellraiser is when Kirsty, played by Ashley Lawrence, comes downstairs to greet her beloved father and then realizes that the father who's coming towards her across the hall is not her father at all, but her uncle in her father's skin. The Freudian ramifications of this are endless.
Come to Daddy.
Hellraiser introduced audiences to the ghastliest Cenobite on celluloid, Pinhead, whose bizarre, bloody antics have ensured him a place in the annals of horror film history.
You solved the box. We came. Now you must come with us.
While Pinhead's hellish pranks send shivers down moviegoers' spines, Barker believes his film's truly horrifying moments are those that hit much closer to home.
The great scares, I think, in Hellraiser are not really related to Pinhead. They're related to discovering that your stepmother is a murderess with a hammer. I mean, that's the human level upon which the narrative is working.
Barker is executive producer of the 4th Hellraiser installment, due in theaters early next year. He's also exec producing a sequel to Candyman and has written the screenplay for an animated version of his best-selling children's novel, The Thief of Always. But Barker hasn't set aside directorial duties altogether. He's currently helming Lord of Illusion, a supernatural thriller based on his story, The Last Illusion. And ravenous readers of Barker books needn't fret. His latest offering, Everville, just hit bookstores.
I think the moment that I walk away from a book or a movie or a painting and say, wow, that is perfect, it's probably the moment I should give up, because it's not going to get any better than that.
We're going retro with the Captain after this disconnect.
This Sci-Fi Channel program is brought to you by Pringles. So fresh. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Here's a chip that's got more original. New Pringles Ridges, it's more crunchy. If crunch is what you can't resist, our Pringles Ridge is more crunch than this. Crunchy. Golden tasty crunchiness, not this bag chip greasy mess. New Pringles Ridges, it's more crunchy. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Since the beginning of time, mankind has striven to double and redouble his powers.
A mysterious machine has appeared in homes across America.
All right, baby.
Increase the power of the unit 40 times. 32. X.
Welcome to the next life.
You spill your drink?
I don't have a drink. Uh-oh.
You are watching Sci-Fi Buzz on the Sci-Fi Channel.
The Sci-Fi Series collection continues.
I hope you'll be very happy.
Presenting rare and special programs.
Witches.
What you do with witches in these times?
It sounds like a classic case of poltergeist activity.
Your room is ready and waiting at the Hammer House of Horror. Begins December 5th.
Ouch! Bela Lugosi is back for more blood. He's Dracula, part of Interlude with the Vampire. Tomorrow at 9.
The 1941 serial, The Adventures of Captain Marvel, marked the first time a comic book superhero ever appeared on the silver screen. It's considered by many to be the finest serial ever made. And thanks to home video, you can continue to enjoy its superb special effects and first-rate production value.
Where's Miss Wallace? Where's Miss Wallace? Talk fast, or I'll...
The chapter play chronicles the exploits of the world's mightiest mortal and his alter ego, Billy Batson. A mild-mannered radio news reporter, Billy can transform himself into Captain Marvel by uttering the magic word,
Shazam!
So that's where Gomer Pyle got that, huh? For 12 episodes, Captain Marvel battles the Scorpion. The mysterious villain is intent on obtaining 6 optical lenses that, when aligned properly, can turn any material into solid gold or reduce it to atoms.
Focus the beam directly into the mouth of the tunnel.
Captain Marvel differs from other fantasy heroes in that he has no reservations about getting mean. Can you imagine Batman machine gunning his enemies in the back, no less? Or how about the Green Hornet using some poor guy's head for a battering ram? I don't think so. And can you picture Superman getting this nasty? Captain Marvel was brought to life by B. Western star Tom Tyler. Though he had been an Olympic weightlifter, he didn't do his own stunts, which was just as well. His stuntman, Dave Sharp, was one of the all-time best. His spectacular takeoff leaps and landings are legendary. He executed these amazing vaults with the aid of a small trampoline. To complete the illusion of flying, Republic Pictures relied on its crack special effects team, Howard and Theodore Lydecker. The brothers developed a technique which used an 8-foot-long dummy that slid along a great length of wire. The serial also borrowed lots of effects footage from other films to give it a first-class look on a shoestring budget.
We'll rig the breaches, boy. Signal when we're ready for you to haul in. Yes, sir.
If more serials had been produced with the care and enthusiasm put into the adventures of Captain Marvel, they might have survived longer. It's a splendid celebration of low-budget craftsmanship that influenced TV and movies for decades.
This is Mary Schmidt from Fitchburg, Wisconsin. I'm calling to recommend the new quantum leap novel, Knights of the Morning Star, by noted fantasy author Melanie Ron. In this book, Sam leaps into a medieval recreationist group, very much like the Society for Creative Anachronism, and encounters people who could directly affect his chances of going home.
Hey, Buzzers, call the Buzz Board if you want to share one of your favorites with Sci-Fi Buzz viewers. 213-851-7235 is the number. Conventions, books, videos, conferences, film festivals, give us a call. Susan, as you know, I'm no comic book expert, but Norm Breyfogle, is that a comic book character name?
No. Look, comic book artist, Norm Breyfogle.
Boy, you're
It's a good name for an artist, though, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Nice stuff, too.
Picasso, Dali,
What's wrong with
Breyfogle.
Breyfogle.
And a nicer guy you couldn't meet.
When comic book artist Norm Breyfogle was a kid, he didn't know what he wanted to be when he grew up. But his mother saw creative potential in her son that she nurtured and encouraged, despite his stubborn nature.
I didn't really consider getting into it until I took some private art lessons that my mother forced me to go to on Saturday morning, which I hated doing because, you know, that's your one day off. I had to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. What is this? It's like school. But after a year of that, I decided I did want to make a living out of it.
It didn't take Breyfogle long to tap into the art form that really got his creative juices pumping, comic books. He majored in illustration at college. After graduation, he displayed his work at San Diego's Comic-Con, where he met an agent who agreed to represent him. And in time, the ambitious lad landed at DC Comics, where he spent 6 years rendering images of the Caped Crusader for the Batman comics.
The main thing was just coming from unknown status to proving that you can do it on a monthly basis. And it seemed to take a long time. It took a couple of years only, really, before I started getting published, but it sure seemed forever. I would have been willing to start drawing comics in high school, although then I would have missed my wondrous college education.
His stint at Batman made Breyfogle a hot commodity in the comic book world. So he capitalized on this newfound clout to help him launch a personal project. He struck a deal with Malibu Comics to supply the artwork for Prime, one of Malibu's popular Ultraverse titles. In return, they agreed to publish Breyfogle's dream project, Metaphysique.
I wouldn't have just made the move just to draw Prime, frankly. I mean, it was a really nice change. In fact, I got a lot more out of it than I expected. And Prime is the opposite of Batman in almost every way. He's a youngster, he's unsophisticated, he wears a bright costume, he's huge and muscular. Batman's more Bruce Lee-like or trim. But once I started getting into it, I really realized that I needed a change that I didn't expect. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
At present, Breyfogle is wholeheartedly immersed in Metaphysique, which he describes as a cross between Altered States and Superman.
It's the story of a young man's coming of age, spiritually and emotionally. And it's kind of symbolic of my own coming of age. But it's told in the superhero format. And it's told in the backdrop of a dream laboratory where a number of people with dream disturbances are being treated.
As the title suggests, Metaphysique is a unique and somewhat daring endeavor. It explores various Eastern philosophies, not exactly mainstream material.
But Breyfogle hopes that weaving them with a character-driven superhero story will attract comic book readers from all walks of life.
A more mature audience could appreciate it, and I think kids could appreciate it because on the surface it's going to be basically a superhero story with a lot of action. The heart of the entire story, figuratively and literally, is a woman, so a woman could appreciate it as well.
That assured self-confidence has established Norm Breyfogle as a force to be reckoned with in the competitive world of comics. Bringing the first Star Trek movie to the screen was no picnic. We'll talk to the director, Robert Wise, next.
Just for me. They've been trying for hours to help you find what to wear, but they're really just wearing you out.
Oh, boy. I love this look. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
You know what? I'm going to try these on.
Since Twix gives you chewy caramel twice, milk chocolate twice, and that great cookie crunch twice, you get one great snack
Your dad's got one just like it.
after another.
When the weather calls for waterproof, there's one mascara that's remarkable. It washes off easily with just soap and water. CoverGirl Remarkable Washable Waterproof Mascara. You get CoverGirl Beautiful Lashes, waterproof lashes that weather any storm. But unlike ordinary waterproof mascaras, it washes off easily with a touch of soap and water. That's remarkable. Remarkable Mascara. Waterproof lashes all day that soap and water easily wash away. From CoverGirl.
Like the roar of 1,000 freight trains, tornadoes are nature's most violent storm. Now, for the first time, you can experience 46 incredible twisters in one heart-stopping home video. Tornadoes, the Entity. This incredible one-hour video brings you rare and terrifying footage recorded live through the shaky viewfinders of awestruck amateurs. You'll live through a full 9 minutes of the infamous 1991 Andover, Kansas killer tornado as it passes within 100 yards of the camera. Plus, exclusive stop-action editing reveals funnel center lightning as you've never seen before. At just $29.95 plus shipping, Tornadoes the Entity is one video cassette you can't afford to miss. Here's how to order.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-641-7575 for Tornadoes, the Entity, only $29.95 plus shipping. Don't miss the special TV offer to own 46 of the most dramatic tornado videos ever recorded. Order now. Call 1-800-641-7575.
The sound of music.
Three Sopranos. I'm so sorry. That was my idea. You know, what do Clive Barker and Robert Wise have in common? Not much, you think? Well, of course, Robert Wise directed The Sound of Music. Clive created things like Pinhead. Well, Robert Wise made his very own terror and sci-fi classics back early in his career.
It's clotted throughout the entire system. 5 quarts of blood turned to powder.
In theory, I suppose a single organism could do it.
But in fact, there isn't an organism on Earth.
You mean there didn't used to be?
Director Robert Wise has been thrilling us with science fiction and horror films for over 50 years. He launched his directorial career in 1943 with Curse of the Cat People. Wise was supposed to be the film's editor, but was asked to step in and direct when the original director was fired.
I was a very nervous cat. On Monday morning when I came in, I got in the studio about 5:30 or 6 before the crew was there. I had to go in the stage and turn on the stage lights so I could see the set and start with my finder figuring out how I was going to shoot the sequence.
Wise was thrown into the water and told to swim. When he succeeded, he was given another film, The Body Snatcher. Wise directed legendary horror star Boris Karloff in this chilling tale about grave robbers.
He was so eager and so keen to do this film because he saw it was an opportunity, an acting opportunity for him, you know. He wanted to prove to Hollywood and to the audience out there that he was more than just a man to play monsters.
Wise's first foray into science fiction was The Day the Earth Stood Still. The film has become a classic. Like many other directors' pictures, it makes a comment about a controversial issue.
I like very much the statement that The Day the Earth Stood Still made. It, you know, said to the world, let's stop this nonsense of atomic warfare. This is dangerous. Will kill us all.
Wise's next genre film was the ghost story, The Haunting. He terrified the audience without even showing any boogeymen. Instead, he relied on things like sound effects and distortion in the camera lens to build fear. he recalls that he had a hard time talking the head of Panavision into letting him use a prototype lens.
At that time, I think about the widest angle lens they had was around 35 in Panavision anamorphic, and I wanted something more extreme if possible, and I told that to Bob. I said, don't you have anything wider than that? Don't you have a 30, 28 or something? And he said, well, we are working on a 28. We developed, but still got distortion in it. I said, oh, that's exactly what I want. I want that distortion.
Wise's anti-militarism reared up again in the Andromeda strain. The science fiction thriller made a strong statement about the insanity of biological and chemical warfare, which annoyed the Defense Department. They denied Wise's request for assistance on the film.
Of course, you want something in the Defense Department, they have to read the script. And they read the script and turned us down. I guess they didn't like our little lick in there at the biological warfare.
Wise explored reincarnation in Audrey Rose. Although the film has become a cult horror flick, it was a commercial disappointment when released. But Wise's next film exploded at the box office. Though Star Trek the Motion Picture successfully launched the Star Trek big screen franchise, it was a nightmare to make. The studio was racing to beat the release of some other outer space films, and the pressure to finish the picture on time was enormous.
So we started to shoot with only the first act of the script right. And we were rewriting the script, working on the script all the way through to the very end, to the last day of shooting. The last few days of shooting, I was getting 2 or 3 sets of changes for the next day's work. And that's a very unsatisfactory way of working.
Robert Wise hasn't directed any genre film since Star Trek. But with his rich legacy of science fiction, gothic, and supernatural thrillers, he continues to shock, horrify, and incite us. Just down the time stream, Harlan Ellison does some fantasy shopping for us.
Our lives are ultra intense. We have major pressure. So Secret made something revolutionary for us. Ultra Dry. This is huge. Ultra drier than any other kind out there. A new pH-balanced soft solid that goes on dry and vanishes like that. So 2 clicks give us ultimate dryness. Our lives do manage. New Secret Ultra Dry, strong enough for him. But now, the ultimate in dryness for us.
$2 million a month for the names of every undercover agent in the world.
The threat
You are way out of your league.
is everywhere.
Way out.
The danger is real. And the action never stops.
These people are killers.
Paramount Pictures presents.
You leave the cop stuff to me.
Stage 1 is complete. Right on schedule.
The schedule will change.
Wesley Snipes.
You're dismissed.
Drop Zone. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 9th at theaters everywhere.
Weird Science. Saturday nights at 10 on USA.
You are watching Sci-Fi Buzz on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Come on, guys, you're such an inspiration. So hip, so hot, so happening too. You and Hay. That's a winning combination. Just wait till we get our hands on you. I can't wait, can't wait. Just wait till we get our hands on you. Hey.
Since the beginning of time, mankind has striven to double and redouble his powers.
A mysterious machine has appeared in homes across America.
All right, baby.
Increase the power of the unit 40 times.
32. X.
Welcome to the next level.
You spill your drink?
I don't have a drink.
Yes, here am I, a mere tool of commercial interests. The network has said to me, why don't you do a show in which you show us things that people should buy? Some of the toys that you're looking at and buying these days. And I'm saying, this show provides me with very little graft, folks. I don't get any real high-ticket items. But I'll show you a few things that are worth spending your money on, because as that great American Ronald Reagan said, the business of America is business. Of course, he stole that from Calvin Coolidge, but who am I to cavil? Here is a wonderful thing that I'm actually not showing you because I told Jeff Killian that I wanted to show it on this show, and the next thing I knew it was being shown on SF Trader. You can buy it through SF Trader on this here network, but it is a reproduction of the original Day the Earth Stood Still poster. It is quite beautiful. These are published by a publishing company in New York called NBM. These are the Ray Bradbury Chronicles, and there are 6 volumes of them so far. And these are Bradbury stories adapted and illustrated by the best in the business. And let me show you the kind of thing that they are. For instance, here is an adaptation of Ray Bradbury's wonderful story, A Sound of Thunder. They go for $19.95 in hardcover. They got numbered ones that are, more expensive, but these are very, very nice. I urge you to get these. This is also done by NBM. They've only done 2 volumes of this so far. It's The Fairy Tales of Oscar Wilde, illustrated by the superb artist P. Craig Russell. And this is volume 1. This is volume 2. And let me show you a page out of this. This is a story called The Selfish Giant. Look at this. Ah, is this beautiful? These are only $15.95 a piece. That's NBM. Topps, that makes the trading cards, did a shadow set for the movie. Now, these are called uncut sheets. These are the cards on the sheets before they cut them up. So you can't get them this way, but you'll get the sheets themselves. Now, the set is 90 cards, and most of them, can you see this down here? Can you shoot that over there? Most of them are the movie scenes, which are okay. They're okay. But in between, they've got art. They've commissioned real art by various comic book artists of the shadow. It's beautiful stuff. And there's a full extra set of these, and these are the covers done by Jim Steranko for the shadow paperbacks that he did in the 80s. And on the backs of the cards, oh, you're going to love this. Look at this. Look at this. Here's Steranko. Of course, this was Steranko when he was about 9 years old. He's my age now. And this is the woman who played Margot Lane on the radio. And this is the guy who created the Shadow, Walter Gibson. Well, he didn't actually create him, but he wrote the Shadow novels. And that's Brett Morrison, who played the Shadow on radio in the 1940s, and Orson Welles. And these are the backs of the cards. It's a very, very nice set. Oh, you're going to love this. This is the latest of the Neil Gaiman Sandman graphic novels. This one is called Brief Lives. These are the 2 Sandman sculptures. This one is available now, and you can buy it if you want. Very expensive. You'll have to hock your house. This one is a prototype of the one that's forthcoming. It'll be out around Christmas of this year, 1994, and it is based on the P. Craig Russell art from the Arabian Nights edition of the Sandman. This one I got, it's a prototype that was given to me by Neil at a banquet dinner that was done for me. Now, excuse me, would you come over here? Yes. Now, I'm going to go away now. I'm going to leave you here to look at these, and I'll see you next week with some more good things like these books here. Take care of yourself.
That's all the time we have for Sci-Fi Buzz this week. Before we get away, a special thank you and kind of a reluctant goodbye to a very important member of our Sci-Fi Buzz staff, Pierce Bass. He's on camera right there. Now, come on, Pierce. Get out from underneath that camera. Lee, can you get it? Okay, Lee's got a hold of the camera. Come on. All right, everybody, come on in. Here we go. We have a cake for you. Now, where are you off to? North Carolina?
We're breaking lights.
No, yeah. Can I get your hair like it normally is? He's heading off to North Carolina to live down there. But you will be coming back in and shooting the show for us every now and then, right?
Possibly, yeah.
You're never this quiet.
Right.
This guy's responsible for kind of the look of this show. It's great. Oh, come on. Eat some of the cake.
Very nice, thank you.
See if there's good luck in this little camera there. Kind of looks like you. Okay, blow them all out, Pierce. All right, everybody, a round of applause for Pierce. Come on, you, blow hard.
The mysteries of aliens, the magic of Houdini, the miracles of angels. Now the real stories. People and events are explained in Mysteries, Magic, and Miracles, hosted by Patrick McNee. Coming up next.